reason Melania Trump came out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We got to rewind that. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. This is explosive information. Not saying it's true. We're just going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about.
The reason Melania Trump came out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore.
Okay, that is part of what we're going to talk about because now there's speculation that Melania allegedly, because I don't want anything to happen to me. I don't want anything to happen to me. But allegedly, Melania had a daughter by, guess who? EpiPen. Now, is this true? I'm just going to go on record and say it's not true because this is the president's wife. Okay, so I'm just going to say it's not true because I don't want to get sued and I don't want anything crazy to happen to me. But that is what is being said. So it's farther than this, way farther than this. And we're going to talk about her daughter and show information about how not only could this be her daughter, but who her father actually is. So that is what we're talking about today. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Let's go.
Have a good day.
The first time Donald Trump had sex with Melania was on my plane. This is Epstein talking. Remember how she said in her statement, I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I was never on his island. Little did he know I beat him to the punch a year before when I was at a party of New York's top models. Things got wild, and by the end of the night, I ended up almost naked in the back of a limo going at it with Melania. That is Jeffrey Epstein claiming that he f***ed Melania before Donald Trump. That's a big claim.
This just happened. Until moments ago, Amanda Angaro had no posts on her X account.
So Amanda Angaro, for those who don't know, for those who did not watch my show from yesterday, Amanda Angaro is Melania Trump's best friend. And this is the reason why all this is happening right now. And Amanda Angaro had a long-term relationship with a friend of Donald Trump. And then the friend of Donald Trump started having issues with Amanda. And they're turned into some type of custody battle. And she was about to leave the country with his son. He went to Donald Trump and said, bro, I need your help. Get ICE to detain her so I could get my son. And then Amanda went to jail for like a certain amount of weeks, I believe. And next thing you know, she is now in Brazil or somewhere. And she's like, oh, I'm about to expose all of y'all because of what you did to me, Donald Trump. Because I know my ex-boyfriend got you, Donald Trump, to sick ice on me. So it's up for all of y'all and not just my ex-boyfriend. So that's a synopsis of who this Amanda Angaro is. She's known Melania Trump for like 20 years. So she knows all the secrets.
Just her replies to Melania Trump. Her first post was my video talking about her replies to Melania Trump and how Melania Trump's press conference was likely to do with what she knows and what she might be about to release. And it seems we might be onto something here, folks. What I have found is that Amanda Angaro has been working with Anthony Andrews and using this X account to post her story, what she knows, some of her evidence, with some of the most bombshell stuff likely yet to come. But she paints a picture of how Paolo Zampalli is involved with Melania, Epstein, Trump, all of it, and how it's all intertwined with.
And Paulo Zamboli, whatever his name is, that is Amanda's ex-boyfriend. They weren't married, but they were together for like 19 years, and they have like a 8-year-old son or something like that. And the custody of the son is the reason why all this is happening
In our government right now. Everything in here needs to be investigated, and I hope some members of Congress are seeing this and will start looking into this, because this needs to be looked into. And perhaps
everybody hit the like. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Mama's a bitch. Deport her.
All right, so I like how this woman just comes out and says this. This is hilarious. She gives a great ghetto synopsis of what's happening. Watch
because this needs to be looked into. And perhaps this sheds some light on why the remaining 3 million plus Epstein files still have not been released.
Right.
So Trump got this friend, right? And his homeboy was like, hey, my baby mama's a bitch. Deport her ass. So apparently he did that favor and deported her.
Yep.
She is not taking it lightly.
That's simple.
She gets on Twitter and was like, Melania, I know you're not playing with me, bitch. Not with all that I know. Not with all that I know. We done known each other for 20 years, and you finna handle me like that? Bet money. You know when
Bet
somebody
money.
say bet money, don't bet any money.
Don't bet any
She
money.
even added Pam Bundy.
Oh.
Saying, are you aware of what I know?
And Pam Bondi just got fired. Think about that. Pam Bondi, didn't she just get fired? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Didn't Pam Bondi just get fired? It might have something to do with this. And yes, I'm about to connect all of this to Erica Kirk also. And there's a possibility that we have more information on how Erica Kirk does not have any children. And those two little people that she keeps showing the back of their heads, those are her children. She never gave birth to a child. In my opinion, I don't want to get sued, Erica Kirk.
Because the way y'all handling me, it's like you don't know what I know. And that's dangerous for you because I don't care anymore. And then she attached a couple of pictures to let them know, like, I'm not playing. So then when I saw what Trump posted, I was like, it makes sense. I'm not going to show it to you, but he apparently posted a video of a woman being last night.
Did y'all see that video?
This was going down.
Did y'all see that video that Donald Trump posted on X about that woman getting blanked? And if you heard about it or seen it, you probably wondered why the president of the United States would post something like that. This is the reason why he posted it. It was a subliminal threat to this Ungaro woman, this Amanda, to let her know, like, hey, you're next if you keep playing with me. So that's kind of like what is behind why he posted that.
Like the Iranians say, this is an Epstein war. He's trying to hide behind the fact that all of the nefarious things that they've done to children and to women, and I know to men and boys, right? By starting this war to get them to open the Hormuz Strait when that hole was already open. If you want to read the tweets, and you're not on Twitter, you can go to Here's Why, Kevin. But I knew sis wasn't playing around when I saw that M dash. I said, this is a bitch that is serious. M.
What is the M dash, y'all? What is the M dash? Because I know the M dash, there was a dash in the Epstein files or the EpiPen files, and they were talking about why is there a dash between everything? What is the M? Does anybody in the chat know what the M dash means? What does that mean?
Dash.
Amanda Angaro continues to attack Melania Trump and threaten her and her husband, the president. Listen to this. She says, we'll take action against you and your child-admiring husband. I have known you for 20 years. You knew I was detained in ICE. You were present in my life. Every year on my son's birthday, even sending Secret Service and being the first to congratulate him. And
That's her son. And we're going to get into the conversation spiraling about how, because I just want to let the people that just came in know that we have not talked about how there's a possibility that Melania Trump may have a daughter by Jeffrey Epstein. Whether it's true or not, I'm just going to say it's not true because I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get shot. Okay. But we have not talked about that yet. But what I'm doing now is giving y'all the lead up to y'all so y'all will understand who Amanda Angaro is first. Because if I just turn around and say Amanda Angaro is this, y'all gonna be like, who the hell is this? So I'm trying to give y'all backstory and understanding on who this Amanda woman is and what she has to do with Donald Trump and all these other people. All right.
2016. Something was clearly wrong, but I'm not a part of any evil mission involving children. So what did you do, Melania? You tried to involve me, but you failed because I have character. And she continues, I have nothing left to lose in life. I will tear down every system. Be careful with me, B. I will tear down your corrupt system, even if it's the last thing I do in my life. I will go all the way. I'm not afraid. Maybe you should be afraid of what I know, who you are, and who your husband is. Y'all, she just keeps coming at her, and I can't help but think maybe this is a part of why Melania had this press conference allegedly, and why she may be allegedly scared.
Yes.
What do you guys think? This video is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only, no facts, none of this is real.
This message is for Miss Melania, and if you're not Miss Melania, that is fine because you're gonna want to sit down and watch this anyway. Hey girl, so I know you said this.
I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties.
And I know you said this too.
My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter.
And that's absolutely crazy because I found a file this morning that says differently.
All right, so let's read this. Now, I need glasses, so I'm going to give it a try because I can't see. Can I see this? All right. Can y'all read this? Y'all screenshot this for yourselves because I need glasses and I'm looking at it from my TV. Okay, let's see. Trip to Paris, approximately early 2004, was her last assignment. Okay, y'all screenshot this. I'm not reading all this because I'm looking at this from my TV and it's too far away and I can't see, even with my glasses on, because these are bifocals and this is too far for my bifocals to actually work. So screenshot this and then we'll get back to this and we'll probably talk about this in a minute. But y'all screenshot this and y'all read it and we're going to move on because I can't see. All right, let's keep going. But y'all screenshot that for your records.
The Amanda Angaro interview has dropped. I am going to post the entire thing at the end of this video. I thought that would be easier than you trying to find the link for it, especially since it's originally in Spanish. She is incredibly brave to do this. I know that she has another interview with CNN on Monday, so I'm hoping that's going to be video and we get to see her speak, and I'm hoping other outlets will reach out to her and she deserves to have her story told. So
okay, get the screenshotting, y'all, because this is going to give you some clarity on her first interview right here. Okay, now I can read this. After spending nearly half of her life in the United States, 41-year-old Brazilian Amanda Angaro was deported last October. She had endured 3 hellish months in a detention center before being deported. and have more than 600,000 immigrants. As have more than 600,000 immigrants since Donald Trump returned to the White House. All right, now it's war, and that's kind of like why we're here. This woman means business. So these are the four people right here. You have Amanda, Donald Trump, Amanda's baby daddy, Paulo, whatever the hell his last name is, and of course Melania Trump. So they have been knowing each other for over 20 years. So she knows where all the bodies are buried. And right here it says hit the like button and subscribe to Mr. Let Go's YouTube channel. Okay, so right here, Amanda Ungaro says hit the like button and subscribe to Mr. Let Go's YouTube channel. All right, y'all screenshot if y'all need the screenshot. So let's keep going. All right, right here said you have not hit the like button yet. So still hit the like button because you are hard-headed. All right, so right here it says Ungaro regrets leaving Zampoli sooner because he's a monster apparently and not reporting him. So, you know, she wished she would have done this a long time ago. All right. Screenshot this also. And this is the sun, and this is them here. So this is just more proof that everybody, because Melania loves lying just like Erica Kirk. Melania, her last name may be Kirk and not Trump because she's a bigger liar than Erica Kirk is. So this is showing you that they have been friends for a long time. And they all have connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Even bigger connections, because this little boy right here is his son, but this woman right here, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. All right.
I was living at the mercy of a sick psychopath who abused me psychologically. Can't say that one on here, I guess, and physically. I asked many people for help. No one ever helped me, but I couldn't leave without my son, and he would not sign the authorization. This comes from Amanda Angaro's new interview that just came out just tonight in El País. She says, now it's war. We'll see who wins. I kept quiet for years, and because of that, people judge me, and they ask, why are you speaking now? Because the man would not let me live in peace.
And to the new people who just came in, thank you all for being here. I appreciate y'all being here. And I know I have not been doing live streams. We'll talk about that later. But welcome, everybody. And make sure to hit the thumbs up button as you come in. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not.
She said it was not enough for him to destroy her during the 20 years of their relationship. He wanted to destroy her again when she started her new life. Amanda details her arrest where 10 police officers storm her home, arrest her. She winds up getting put into a cell with child unalivers. She claims no wrongdoing from the charges that were filed by anonymous tips. Then when Zampoli learns that she's in custody, what does he do? He calls a senior ICE official, asks that she would remain jailed and be deported, allowing him to secure the custody of the child that they share. ICE complied with Zampoli's request, and surprise, surprise, he denies any wrongdoing. He stressed that in any case, she would have been deported because of the other charges against her. Which, I wonder who those anonymous tips came from, Paolo. She goes on to describe the horrific conditions within the detention center where she's stuck for almost 4 months. She then gets taken to Louisiana. She's in a hall with more than 120 people. Floors were wet, no windows. 4 days without seeing the sun, she comes out with lice. They send her to Brazil and she lands there with just her prison uniform, nothing else. She also describes how she exchanged her model visa for a tax-exempt diplomatic passport. At the time, Zampoli preferred that she retain this status because it was more advantageous to him from a tax perspective. He used to
y'all are going down a huge rabbit hole. Mr. Let Go, please be careful. And that's one of the reasons why I was slowing down. So yeah, I totally agree, because there's speculation that somebody in the social media space has lost their passport because like their passport got revoked because they've been speaking on certain things about Erica Kirk and all this other stuff. So yes, this is scary. I agree.
tell her, wait for Donald Trump to come into office after the election and we'll sort out your papers and he'll give you an American passport. She also describes flying on Lolita Express with Jeffrey Epstein at age 17, and she says that she's on there with around 30 very young girls around 14 to 16 years old. Think about that for a second. He was really shipping 30 girls per flight from Paris to New York. That's just insane.
Crazy.
So we have accusations of abuse against somebody working in this current administration right now, flying around the world on our tax dollar, going out and doing diplomatic meetings on our behalf, who has these kinds of allegations. And apparently there's corroboration of the claims of abuse, and something big is coming soon.
Bro, this keeps getting crazier and crazier. I'm just now finding out that Dan Bongino used to be the director of the FBI. He's a former director of the FBI. He quit, he stepped down, he resigned, whatever you want to.
Hold on. All right, I don't want to get too far in the weeds. That's more stuff. We're not going to talk about Dan Bongino. Let's stay down this rabbit hole with Amanda. So check this out.
Girl, you know that friend that you had got deported? Well, she out of ICE custody, and apparently she on your neck. Melania, what was going on yesterday? You must have found out your friend got out of ICE custody. Now, before we can talk about that speech Melania gave, we have to actually talk about this article by the New York Times. Now, in this image seen here at the 2021 Mar-a-Lago New Year's Eve party, the woman seen there goes by the name of Amanda Angaro. She's Brazilian.
Who is Omar? Somebody said, I know Omar was banned from all flights. Who is Omar? Is he like a content creator, or what happened with Omar? Whoever this Omar person is.
And she was dating that guy by the name of Mr. Zampoli. Well, they were dating for decades. They had a child. He's about 17 years old now. When they broke up, she ended up moving down to Miami and getting married to a Brazilian doctor. She ended up being caught up in some sort of like scheme, like Medicare fraud or something like that, which again, people are starting to speculate that it came from the baby daddy. Well, after she had got arrested, he then called Donald Trump and had her deported to Brazil, her and her Brazilian doctor husband. And then he took custody of their 17-year-old son. The son asked to go to Brazil.
So Amanda apparently is married to a person that does Brazilian butt lifts, just so you know. And they both got detained.
Brazil with his mom, but then was in Brazil, was like, oh, I'd rather come back to the States. So now he's with the dad. Now let's talk about what that has got to do with Melania. Apparently that girl has been on a crusade because she is an Epstein victim. She stated that she had flew into the United States at 17 years old on the Lolita Express child. And she stated that that's when she had met Melania, and then Melania had then got introduced to Mr. Zampoli, or whatever you say his name. She dated him, and then she turned around and dated Donald Trump, referring to Melania. Yes, honey, they was all dating, if that makes sense. Melania was dating Zampoli, then she turned around and dated Donald Trump. That's how they met, okay? Now, let's fast forward to Melania's little weird speech she gave, trying to separate herself from the Epstein files, right? Apparently, Amanda Angaro is out of ICE custody, and these are the
She's out of ICE custody, and she's acting a fool right now.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
Tweets that she's been putting out since that speech. She said, "Hello, Melania. I was around you for 20 years, and you know I was inside ICE. And you know what hurts after all this time? I stay close to your family, your mother and your father, not because of you, but because of them at events and everything else. So shut your mouth when speaking about me, because I will expose everything I know." And that's what brings us to Melania's speech. Melania must have got worried when she got out of ICE custody. That's what I think. I think Melania found out, oh, she out of ICE custody. Let me go ahead and separate myself before my best friend says something. Now, other people are speculating that Melania did this speech to separate herself from Donald Trump. Who knows at this point? But I think it has more to do with Amanda getting out of ICE custody. That's what I think it was. And Melania not helping her. But yes, child, this is a mess. Melania, you a mess. And you should have never helped them put your friend in ICE custody. That was foul.
So as we know, Paula Zampoli is the former modeling agent who brought Melania to.
Okay, for those watching, for those who just came in, thank y'all for being here. We have not talked about the other part of this whole situation. We're still like just going through to give y'all an understanding the severity of this. So everybody hit the thumbs up button and share this video with anybody that likes this type of content.
The United States for Donald Trump back in the 90s and has been in business with Donald Trump since the 90s. They did the whole modeling agencies together. They did the whole real estate world together. Paulo's a United Nations diplomat. He was a part of the first Trump administration, and he is very involved in the current administration. Right, okay, we've been talking about this guy since July. We know. As you guys know, I recently made contact with Amanda Angaro, and we are now in communication on a regular basis. We know Amanda Angaro is the mother of Paula Zampoli's child, who he began grooming at the age of 15 years old. She was a victim of Jeffrey's operation. She was on Jeffrey's plane at just 16 years old. We knew that she was on Jeffrey's plane at 17 years old per the flight logs that were released by the DOJ in 2021. But since speaking to Amanda, she has confirmed that she was on Jeffrey's plane at the age of 16, earlier than we even realized. Amanda has known John Casablancas since she was 13 years old, and we know Paulo actually grew up with John Casablancas, and John Casablancas is the man who inspired Paulo to become a modeling agent. Amanda was a victim and witness to Jeffrey's operation. She has a lot of information about the inner workings of this operation. She was on Jeffrey's plane with Jean-Luc Brunel. She has a very unique perspective into this entire situation. And as we know and have been reporting on, in June of 2025, Amanda was wrongfully arrested and held in an ICE detention facility for nearly 4 months. After being held for that period of time, she was deported to Brazil without any kind of due process or trial. Amanda has a fantastic team of attorneys who are currently helping her get justice for her wrongful arrest, her wrongful deportation, and the parental kidnapping and alienation of the child that she shares with Paula. Those are all.
Okay, so there is a modeling pipeline that we've all have been getting an understanding of, but it's deeper than all of this. The first thing this woman right here said, I'm going to play this because this is really why we're here.
Out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days, where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald, and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore.
So this kind of like happens in the entertainment world. It happened with Diddy. Diddy picked out a model, a young model, Kim Porter, and started banging her. And next thing you know, he wanted her to himself. And then, you know, he started a family with her. Russell Simmons did the same thing with Kimora Lee. We all know Kimora Lee was a tadpole when Russell Simmons first got with her. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're aware who Russell Simmons is. He's one of the founders of just hip hop altogether from Def Jam. Put a 1 in the chat if you are aware of who that is. Donald Trump did the same thing with Melania Trump, just like what this woman literally just said.
The reason Melania Trump came out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore.
Brandy's brother, Ray J, he actually married a woman named Princess, and who Princess actually was, Princess was one of Floyd Mayweather's, you know, the boxer, one of his hoes. So Floyd Mayweather literally had like 10 different women that he was, you know, rotating through. And Ray J was hanging out with Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather was like, yo, can I smash her? And he was like, go ahead, no problem. And he started, you know, smashing Princess, which was Floyd Mayweather's girl. And then he didn't give the damn girl back. And then Floyd Mayweather and Ray J fell out because he didn't give his girl back. He turned around and married a damn girl and started a family with her. So that's kind of like what allegedly happened with Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Everybody was just smashing Melania Trump, and all of a sudden Donald Trump didn't want to give her back. So this happens on a normal basis. All right. And we're not going to say Erica Kirk, but who introduced Erica Kirk to Charlie Kirk? Tyler Boyer. So it's a possibility that Tyler Boyer was smashing Erica Kirk and then introduced one of his chicks to Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk didn't want to let her go. So this is kind of like a thing that happens in this world. And yes, Erica Kirk was in the modeling world with Donald Trump also. So it all goes right along with each other. So we're going to go back to this situation right here. But this, I just wanted y'all to see this because a lot of y'all weren't in here when I played this video right here. All right, so let's keep going on here.
21st of this month, Amanda will testify in front of the Supreme Court in New York City. While acknowledging she has years of legal battles ahead of her, we hope that the 21st begins a series of wins for her and her future. With permission from Amanda's legal counsel, she has been given the permission to speak on a wide range of things that have happened to her and are currently happening to her. We can't talk about everything right now, but after some of the upcoming legal proceedings that she has, she will be able to say more. So I'm going to share with you some information that Amanda has given me permission.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Like read the stuff yourself and see like receipts and everything like that, you can go over to my Substack. I've already laid it all out and it's published on my page. So I'm going to share this message from Amanda with you guys, and then after that I'm going to go over a few different names of figures that Amanda has given me. And these are figures who are aware of what's going on within our government and are assisting Paulo in his quest to silence and seek revenge against Amanda. Okay, from Amanda Angaro, 1/18/2026. This is not family drama. This is a criminal operation. I have witnessed many things since I was a teenage girl who became swept up in this nightmare. I have photos to prove the physical abuse I have experienced at the hands of Paulo. I have proof of his longtime substance use issues. I have information and proof of his fraudulent business dealings and millions of dollars worth of insurance fraud that Paulo has committed. I have proof that me and my family have faced harassment, threats, and blackmail from Paulo for years. I have information and proof of government and public officials being bribed by Paulo. I have proof Paulo began trying to date me when I was 15 years old, and it is true that
That's the thing. So this modeling pipeline is, well, you know what? I'm going to let somebody else break the modeling pipeline down. So the tadpole, you know, her being 15YO, it's a trend. And this woman right here is going to explain how and why it's a trend. This woman I'm about to show you her name is Manhattan Madam, and she went to prison and because of all of this. Watch this.
Owens the other day trying to make sense of Erica Kirk's New York City real estate career, wondering how Erica was put in charge of a group of Romanian models when she has no prior real estate experience. I used to be a madam. I ran a high-end escort agency in Manhattan.
So she ran an escorting agency and she went to prison. So she's legit. She actually went to prison. Like she went to prison for all of this. And so she's seen everything. And the pipeline is Erica Kirk and other people, they start orphanages in other countries like Romania, Guatemala. Erica Kirk is just one of these people. Okay. So it's not just Erica Kirk. So people like Erica Kirk and possibly Erica Kirk, they go to other countries, third world countries, and they open orphanages. And then they find young girls and, they, I can't say the word, but okay. They get them used to a certain lifestyle in the third world country, which is, how I sell card games? They don't sell card games. They sell something else, right? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to use them and say card games, okay? So I just want to make sure y'all understand. So imagine I start a card game orphanage because I just don't want to get any problems with YouTube, okay? So a card game is code word for the tadpoles over in the orphanages, okay? So people go to third world countries, and I'm trying to trick the algorithm, so I'm just using different words. So next thing you know, they start a card game orphanage, right? And they have all these little card games running around, and then they sell the card games or they rent the card games out to military vets or people in the military, right? And the people in the military get the card games and they play with them. They open up the card games and they play with them, right? And then they give the card game back to the orphanage. And after years of men playing with the card games and opening them up and undressing the card game, they now are ready to be models. So now they ship the card games from the orphanage to New York. And then that is when the madam actually comes in and takes over. So I just want to make sure y'all. So put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I mean, because I don't want to confuse anybody, but I need to confuse the YouTube algorithm.
I was watching Candace Owens the other day trying to make sense of Erica Kirk's New York City real estate career, wondering how Erica was put in charge of a group of Romanian models when she has no prior real estate experience. I used to be a madam. I ran a high-end escort agency in Manhattan. I'm just the right person to add some perspective on this. Back in the day, I employed hundreds of signed models. In fact, many of them were from Eastern European countries. I normally worked with women who were in their mid-20s, so by the time most of these women had reached the interview with me, they were already considered old by modeling standards.
So that right there. So they start with the orphanage, and then they move to modeling agencies, which of course Erica Kirk ran in New York. So she went from the orphanage herself and started working at the modeling agency, Next Model Management in particular, and then started working with the same girls that came from Romania. And then when they age out, and when everybody gets done, using them, they move on. The girls move on to this woman right here. So it's literally an orphan to model to, I want to say that word, pipeline.
In most of the interviews, these women told me stories of being picked up from their home country, recruited in their teens,
Erica
being
Kirk.
groomed, being brought to New York, put in small apartments, given limited money, and
Erica
then
Kirk.
being forced to go on potential fashion jobs, potential bookings, go-sees, whatever they're called. They would get to some of these, and some of the expectation was that they do schmexual favors, that they had to sleep with people in order to get booked. Now, a lot of times they did these things and they still didn't get booked. By the
Right.
time they were interviewing with me many years later, they would tell me all of these stories. They actually would say to me, we want to make money off of this because we're already used to this world. We've been exploited for a decade.
For a
Now we want to
decade.
take our power back. I know that sounds weird, but many of them thought of working for me as taking their power back from an industry that had robbed them of their childhood and all of.
Because what happens is a lot of the tadpoles have been let's just say busting it open, for lack of better words, for about a decade. So now they're 20, 22, and they've been, doing crazy things with these weirdos for so long where they're just like, yo, I might as well get paid for it. Because they've been busting it open for free for like 10 years. Now they're like, yo, can you help me get paid for busting it open? And that's kind of like what happens. And this is the pipeline that I've been speaking on for the last 6 months. No, for the last 2 years, because Diddy, I was talking about Diddy before Charlie Kirk, and Diddy was doing the same thing. But Diddy was doing it with young men and women.
Their power. I understood this is what fashion is about. Now, I would think someone like Erica Kirk, who has risen to the title of Miss Arizona, who has years and years of fashion experience, that she understood this too, because there is no possible way that a man didn't approach you asking you to get the girls to do him some kind of favor. That is 100% the norm in that world. In fact, it is even the norm in politics, because I've been working in politics now for 16 years.
So the pipeline goes from orphan to model to working with her, the P word, and then it goes to politics. And the reason why Donald Trump and all these other politicians are under the thumb of the blue country, IHOP, is because everybody has been enjoying tadpoles on EpiPen's Island for the last 20 years. And there's video of all of them doing all these crazy things, and they don't want the things to come out. So when the blue country, IHOP, turns around and says, hey, we need to go to war with Iran, and if you don't agree, we're going to let out the unredacted EpiPen files. And you don't want that to happen. So, they just have to do what the people tell them to do.
When I first started, many men asked me if I still had girls. Many men, the hosts of TV networks, political advisors, candidates, elected officials would ask me, do you still have girls? Can you send some to my house? Can you do a party for me? Can you put some at my event? That was the norm. Even though I left that world behind, that was still the request. Maybe that's just how men are. Maybe that's just how men with power are. But I think Erica Kirk would know this, since she's been running in powerful circles and trying to clout chase, I don't know, for decades.
All right. So let's get back to Amanda. Because we haven't even got to
Epstein's
yet.
plane as a teenager. I was only 16 years old the first time I was put on his plane. I have proof Paulo abandoned his own mother in a nursing home in Italy after stealing her jewelry and other valuable items. If a man can rip away his own mother's dignity without a second thought, you can imagine what Paulo is capable of. I faced a false arrest based on manufactured charges. I was forced to stay in an ICE detention facility for months before I was deported to Brazil, where I have been fighting for justice. My paperwork and history of work for the United Nations actions did not stop the government from treating me like an animal. For 3 years before I was wrongfully arrested, I supported myself and my son without financial assistance from Paulo. In the years leading up to my arrest, Paulo and I did not have a romantic relationship, following an affair that he had in Washington, D.C. Paulo did call me his wife, and we were together for 19 years, but legally we were never married. During that time, Paulo was only a present father to fit his narrative and to appear to the public as a loving father. I did not keep our son away from him and allowed him to still see his father. I moved to Miami with my son to enter the workforce, really for the first time outside of my 10 years of work for the United Nations. My attempt to be independent and create distance between myself and Paulo enraged him, and everything got worse, especially when I filed for full custody. The court awarding me full custody would mean Paulo would have to pay years of unpaid child support and continue to financially support our son into adulthood. This was not something that fit Paulo's narrative, something he is desperate to control. I was being harassed relentlessly. My family and friends were harassed as well and even followed in some cases. Shortly after, I began working a job at a medical assistant training school that specializes in minimally invasive procedures. I was associated with a med spa in Miami. Many anonymous complaints began to flood in. The man that I was arrested with was my romantic partner at the time and is now my husband. He is an award.
So right here, it shows you that not only was Amanda detained and arrested, but her husband was detained and arrested also. And that man had nothing to do with all this stuff. Just imagine you meet a beautiful woman and she has an ex-boyfriend, not even an ex-husband. And the ex-husband or the ex-boyfriend turns around and gets you and your new wife arrested. And you like, I don't even know these people. That's crazy. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button for those who just came in. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button.
Awarded plastic surgeon of 30 years who conducts teaching seminars across the world. 3 months before being arrested and booked in June, police showed up unannounced to our home. Police came into our home and took me and my partner out in handcuffs. We were thrown against the wall outside of our home, and neighbors began to come outside because of the police presence. They were shocked.
That's
We were
crazy.
shocked. Neither of us have a criminal record, yet we were handled with extreme force, humiliated, and made a spectacle out of. We were humiliated. We waited for an hour for the police to get a search warrant. They destroyed our home and found nothing. The officers then went to my workplace and were there for hours. They confiscated equipment properly approved, lasers by regulatory agencies, medical documents, and patient records. They did all this searching for evidence of criminal activity that simply did not exist. Then June came and
And somebody in the chat is saying you didn't read my message. Make sure to put your message in the super chat if you want me to read it. There's a lot of people in the chat right now. So if you want me to read your comment or you want me to see it, make sure to put it in the super chat. Put some color behind your words, and then I'll be able to see it if you want me to read it.
my partner, now husband, and I were arrested. No one else from the training center or spa were arrested. I was picked up by ICE officers and taken to a detention center. No bail was possible. I felt so broken and confused. I remained imprisoned in that ICE detention center in Miami for 3.5 months, while increasingly absurd accusations were piled on and have yet to be proven. One of the charges placed against me included that I was practicing medicine illegally, which is an absurd lie that the state of Florida has yet to provide evidence to my legal team of. Nothing that my husband and I have been arrested for has been proven in court.
Somebody asked a question, why did this guy do this, do her like this? This is crazy. Well, when you break up with a person or when you divorce a person, during the divorce proceedings or during the breakup, this is a time where you can easily look at the other person as your enemy. And this is the most dangerous portion of any relationship, because the woman may say something crazy, the man may say something crazy, or the man may, go upside her head or something crazy. And, sometimes people, because we all have seen different scenarios where the the husband or the wife wants to get rid of the other person, and they'll pay the person to get rid of them. You know, it gets really ugly and it gets really scary. What's up, Rachel? So during a divorce or during a long-term breakup, people literally look at the other person as their arch enemy, especially when they think that they're never going to be able to see their child again. So these, true crime stories is usually between a romantic relationship. So romantic relationships, to a certain degree, when they're about to break up, that's when your life can turn around and be in danger. So that's the reason why he did these things. Not saying it's justified, but these people turn around and hate the other person, and they're like, you're never going to see your son again. And then the person thinks, well, I got to do this. And it just gets crazy. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button.
Yet I was deported without trial. I was not given the opportunity to prove that the charges against me were fabricated. My fate was decided before they put the handcuffs on me. When I arrived in Brazil, I began the legal process of fighting for custody of my son, and for a moment I was successful. Giovanni was brought to Brazil briefly after my deportation, per court orders, before Paulo illegally removed him from
Giovanni is the son.
my care and the country, causing me to file a kidnapping complaint. I am still fighting for my son to be rightfully returned to my custody. So that is what Amanda has to share with you guys, what she has permission to share with you guys right now. If you go over to part 2, we're going to go over some of the names who Amanda has given me as figures in our government who have helped assist Paula in having Amanda wrongfully deported and her son kidnapped from.
Okay, so now we're about to get into the craziest, juiciest part of all this. And the question is, did Melania Trump have a daughter with Jeffrey Epstein? So I need everybody watching to drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat right now, because now we're about to go down the biggest rabbit hole of all of them. All right, everybody drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Spam the chat with popcorn emojis. Let's go, because now is about to get crazy. Brina Noss. And Melania Trump's, her maiden name is Noss, just so you know. So Melania Trump's alleged daughter is named Brina Noss. I'm going to play this again. Well, put a 1 in the chat. Y'all need me to play this again. Did y'all understand what just happened right here? If not, I'll play it again. Put a 1 in the chat. You need me to play this little part right here again. That's EpiPen when he was young. And that's Melania Trump's alleged daughter.
For people who...
All right, so put a 1 in the chat. Y'all want to play it? All right, y'all said play it again. All right, I'm playing it again. Sorry to the people who don't want to play it again, but he goes so fast is important.
Returned to my custody. So that is what Amanda
I'm
has
put
to
on a
share
big
with you
screen for
guys,
you.
what she has permission to share with you guys right now. If you go over to part 2, we're going to go over some of the names who Amanda has given me as figures in our government who have helped assist Paula in having Amanda wrongfully deported and her son kidnapped from her.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Watch closely. Rewind it back if y'all need to, but I'm not going to rewind it a third time. Watch closely. Watch closely, y'all. No. That's her last name. Freedom, no.
For people who haven't been following that, Brina Naus is a young lady who it's speculated that she could be Melania's daughter.
Yes.
Okay. And she sort of showed up out of nowhere, and she's a DJ or something.
Well, let me just say how I came across Brina.
Okay.
When the very first time I ever searched Paulo Zampoli in...
And Paulo Zampoli, of course, is Amanda's longtime boyfriend.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Google. The third thing down was a picture of Brina Naus.
Okay.
And so it was like something, it was put in front of me for a reason. And I went down that rabbit hole. And when I jumped down that rabbit hole, the two key things is was born several minutes from where, 40 minutes from where Melania grew up. She came out of nowhere and became a superstar DJ.
As one will.
Yeah.
And remember this, for those who didn't hear this, remember this, just to give you an understanding of how and why. Listen.
Made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald, and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore.
So according to that, Melania was just, a rando that everybody was smashing. And there's a possibility that, because you got to remember, if you paid attention to the EpiPen files, he was getting everybody pregnant. Put a one in the chat. Remember, he was trying to get everybody pregnant. He had this need to impregnate the world. So he was blanking in all these girls because he was trying to get everybody pregnant, right? So what is being said is he blanked in Melania, according to what they're saying, not me, because I don't want to get sued. He blanked in Melania and got her pregnant. And the time in which, just to give y'all understanding of the timing, he was, EpiPen was 33 years old, and Melania was allegedly 15YO. And I'm saying this to make sure I don't get a problem. Okay. So Melania was 15YO and EpiPen was 33YO at the time, just to give y'all some understanding of the ages and the timelines. Okay. He was 33 and she was 15YO. All right. So just to give y'all some understanding.
And I just was reading some accounts online because, you know, everybody, I just did it this week on Reddit. People have been talking about this story for a while. And I'm like, I went in there and I said, I'm not, because some guy's like, I saw some random guy talking about this Brina Naus girl, blah, blah, blah on Twitter. And then I went in there the other day. I'm like, I'm that guy.
Oh, it's me. It's me. I'm the
But
problem.
like I've also
It's me.
seen other articles where people are like, I saw this guy talking about it, but you know, so it's interesting. And nobody's ever been able to debunk it. Just like I mean, I've dove farther than anybody.
Yeah, who knows? It sounds like there's not a lot of information about this young lady.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
But we're also finding that with all these people that we keep meeting, they don't have any history or clear history, or their identity is fucking lost.
Well,
Like, I didn't realize.
Well, there's just too many coincidences. You know, Brina is also, you know, she had posted a picture of herself. No, it was Paula posted a picture with Brina in 2016, and he posted it on his Instagram.
So I hope he says how old she looks in 2016. So just to make sure, the timeline is EpiPen was 33 and Melania was allegedly 15YO when all of this happened, or 14YO and had the baby at 15YO. Okay. And to go farther, Melania right now is 50 years old, and Brina is, I believe, 40 years old. Okay. So that's the timeline. Him 33, her 14 or 15. And now in 2026, Melania is 55 and the daughter is 40. So 40, 55 equals, 55 minus 40 equals 15. So do y'all see what I mean? She's 55. The daughter is 40. That means she had her at 15YO. So that's the actual math.
Amanda told me the other day she was actually there. I don't know. I don't think she took the picture, but she remembers the party and she met Brina Naus, which is, my mind just about exploded when she told me that. Unfortunately, she said, you know, Brina's a really nice girl, but she really didn't know anything about her because they were at a party. But then 3 years later, Brina posted another similar picture at another, you know, music event or whatever of herself with Zampoli. Now they had ties in, you know, the industry, the modeling industry. But the other key thing with that I wondered is, what's her status? Because I see her in LA, New York, Miami, often.
Well, you wonder if two people are dating that long, you think they'd be aware of who each other's close family is, you know, their kids, their connections.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think.
So,
and just for the record, a message to Donald Trump. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? All these people are lying, Donald Trump. I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke. Please don't do nothing to me. You're the president of the United States. I don't want no problems. Okay? So all of this stuff is a lie. Okay? None of this is true. President Donald Trump, I don't want no problems. Okay? I'm a liar. They're liars. Everybody is a liar. We all are liars. Okay? This is entertaining the public. This is all. This is entertainment purposes only. I'm lying and they are lying. None of this is true. Okay? Well, I'm telling the truth that this is not true because I don't want no problems. I do not want the president of the United States messing with me. Okay? I'm lying. This is a lie. All of this. Okay?
But even
I
her
don't know.
status as just her visa status to come in here and do her shows she does. I wonder who handles all that and how that.
Yeah, that's a good
I
question.
think there's a lot of rabbit holes to go down here.
Well,
So
I'm going to tell you guys.
All right, so now we're going to go even deeper. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Brina Noss has Epstein's EpiPen's profile and smile. 1000% she does. Yes.
About a theory that has evolved on the internet and online forums over the past 3 years or so about Paulo, Donald, Melania, and Jeffrey. I really haven't taken the time to cover it because it is just a theory, but with Michael Wolff filing his lawsuit against Melania, it came to the forefront of my mind. So I figured let's have a little fun. Let me indulge those who are curious about this theory. So I'm gonna give you guys the facts first and then explain people's theories that they have. So just bear with me. Okay, so here's the facts. There is a Slovenian DJ named Brina Knaus. She's very popular, especially in Milan, London, Ibiza. She has a fan base within the United States and performs within the United States as well, but the largest chunk of her fans do not come from the United States. Brina was born in Trevalier, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Slovenia, on October 20th of 1985. Before Brina was a DJ, she was a model, and she modeled for Paolo Zampoli. He represented her, he was her agent. When Brina first signed with Paolo, he moved her from Slovenia to Milan where she could begin modeling. With Paulo's representation, Brina was very successful in the modeling industry. She has been in Vogue Italia as well as Glamour Italia. And Brina was very invested in modeling until about 2012, and she decided to embrace her.
So this is nobody. This is just from the Epstein files, okay? This is just from the Epstein files. I'm not saying who this is. I'm not saying anything, okay? I'm just playing footage from the Epstein files, okay? So this is from the Epstein files. I don't know who this is. It could be anybody, but it could be somebody. So I'm just playing it. I want no problems. Donald Trump, please don't come at me. I want no problems. But you can easily see this is her child. Whoever this person is, you could tell that this is their child. And let me know, do you think that is her child or you think that is her little sister?
Paolo Zampoli, he represented her, he was her agent. When Brina first signed with Paolo, he moved her from Slovenia to Milan where she could begin modeling. With Paulo's representation, Brina was very successful in the modeling industry. She has been in Vogue Italia.
So Brina was also a model.
As well as Glamour Italia. And Brina was very invested in modeling until about 2012, and she decided to embrace her.
So somebody says, who is this? I don't know who it is. Okay. This is just from the Epstein files. Okay. But what I want to ask you, say yes or no in the chat. Do you think this is her child? Yes or no in the chat. Do you think, with the body language, do you think that's her child? Because that's kind of like what EpiPen was doing. He would impregnate, tadpoles, and then give the tadpole their child, and then would turn around and say, you can't have the child anymore. This is kind of like what he does. This is a level of manipulative torture. You have a child and say, here's your child, and then take the child away. And then now you're a tadpole and you already don't even know what's going on with your life. You just had a baby. But y'all let me know. Do you think, yes or no in the chat, this is her child? Look at the body language. You let me know. Am I crazy? Because this may be just a little girl and her little sister or her little brother. I don't know. And I'm not saying who this is or nothing. I'm just showing you.
So I want you guys
some
to check out this video of Melania Trump that was just shared by a gentleman over on Instagram. I've never seen any of these photos before. Is this the crazy shit that she got in front of and she was trying to get out ahead of? Because I heard somebody's about to start leaking some stuff. Check out this tweet from Diligent. Melania Trump used to work as a model of Donald Trump's friend, Paolo Zappalli. In a nasty divorce, Zappalli allegedly had Trump use ICE to deport his ex-wife, Amanda Ungaro. Now, Amanda is now set to do an interview this weekend and tell all about Melania, Epstein, Trump, and Zappalli. This is what Melania's press random conference was about yesterday. They are all trying to get ahead of this bombshell. And if you aren't following Diligent, swing over there and give that man a follow, because the work that he's doing is absolutely fantastic. Now, these photos, it's so hard to tell with AI what's real and what's not real. So Melania is always allegedly innocent until proven guilty, or she's always innocent until proven guilty. Everything in this video is just allegedly. But I've never seen half of these photos. These are some really strange, really bizarre photos, especially the one that looked like Melania was like dancing on a pole in front of Epstein. Which you look at all of like how this whole thing came about and this weird press conference that she had, none of it's adding up. They wanted Epstein and Trump out, and Trump wanted Epstein out of the headlines so bad he started fucking World War III with Iran. And he's completely collapsed our military. He's sent our sons and daughters off to die. He's become the most hated and despised president in all of American history. And yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Said like there were constantly Eastern European models.
All right, so now we're going to talk about Erica Kirk and the modeling pipeline having to do with orphans
all over the office. I mean, like it was just everywhere. And Epstein would just come all the time. Like, you know, this was his friend. Why wouldn't he come into his friend's office? Wouldn't you like rank that really high in terms of just giving a comment and being like, oh, I was there for, I don't know what would be an appropriate answer. I literally don't know what would be appropriate answer. I don't know why she'd be there, but wouldn't you just offer that answer if there was a good answer? I find it to be very strange. I find that to be very strange, especially when we now add in the fact, going back to the way that she's dancing around Epstein, pageant world, Romania, ASU. Now we have Next Model Management specifically, and real estate. We can't get.
And y'all are talking about Barron. Shout out to Baron Coleman. Yes, I love the fact that Barron is finally starting to talk about this. But me and Allie Top Files were asking Barron to talk about this months ago, and for whatever reason, he didn't want to talk about it, mess with it, whatever. But I'm glad Barron is finally talking about this, because me and Allie, you already know, we have been talking about this for months. The Romanian stuff, the modeling stuff. So I'm staying in my pocket of talking about the tadpoles. Okay. But shout out to Baron Coleman for finally, you know, talking about this stuff, because he's a larger platform and it has to get out in some type of way. So shout out to Baron Coleman.
An answer on that. Erica being the busiest person in the world in 2018, receiving degrees, starting and running a business, a clothing company, also taking interviews with Turning Point because she's going to help them, but then falling in love with Charlie. She also unusually receives her New York real estate license to work with Corcoran Real Estate. And that is under the stewardship of Pam Lehman. It featured in the Epstein files, was helping him with real estate deals, but also we can't find any real estate deals that Erica completed in New York. And real estate agents are reaching out to me saying, you can't just get a license and work for Corcoran. That's not how the real estate world works. I guess they have certain requirements. They're like, this is backdoor stuff. Somebody just made that happen for her.
All right, quick commercial break. Any man, how to deal with a woman. All right, this video will show any man how to deal with a woman when she's upset. She doesn't want to fight, just like you don't want to fight, but this is all she's known her whole life. Most women were either raised in chaos or raised with neglect. So with her, there's no middle ground. And your job as a man is to be the middle ground, is to ground her, is to be her foundation. See, the middle ground needs to be what she's standing on. It needs to be what keeps her from falling, but she never had a middle ground. So with her is either fight or flight, not staying and talking. See, the reason why she's like this is because she's emotionally irregulated. There's no stability. There's no structure. There's no understanding. Everything she does is wrong. So she gets to the point where if everything she does is wrong, she might as well crash out, because that's what people do to her. See, for a lot of women, I'll say most women, yelling and arguing has always been her only way of getting her point across. One, when she's in her feminine, nobody listens. And 2, her mother yelled at her in order to get her point across. So she literally is operating like her mother operated with her, and she doesn't know any other way of doing things. See, when I see a woman upset and mad in any situation, I don't see this monster. I see a hurt little girl that needs to be acknowledged. I'm not your adversary. That's what this girl is doing in this video. I'm here to offer you something and not take something away. Most men in a woman's past have always taken from her. That's why she's like this. But when she's able to see that you're here to add something to her, emotional regulation, guidance, structure, and the day she gets those things is when she turns into this. This is who she was before somebody stole her heart. Bring a woman her heart back and she'll share it with you forever. And just like in this scene, I'm here to offer you something. This is your heart. For most women, they have a void in their hearts that can only be filled by the acknowledgement of her mother. She needs her mother to affirm her. She needs her mother to apologize to her. She needs her mother to see her. By my mother like daughter card game, if you can relate and you would like the transformation that happened in this scene, get this card game. The link is either under this video, over this video, or in my bio. All right, let's get back to it.
As we received some follow-up information regarding Erica's time in New York, confusing time in New York, specifically more details pertaining to what the hell Erica was doing, parked at a modeling agency that was frequented by Jeffrey Epstein. And you know what? This information feels pretty explosive. Jeffrey Epstein, based on the emails, begins procuring models from Romania. We also know that that's the same time and year the Black Sea Rotational Force in Constanta, Romania, is being led by Erica's cousin, Lieutenant Colonel Dennis France. It's the first time America is operating a base in Romania, which is later going to be accused of prostituting underage Romanian children. Brothel, Colonel Otto Buscher. Same time frame, Tyler Boyer goes out to Constanta, Romania, and he's hanging out and he's partying and he's drinking with Romanian models and parliament politicians. Then Tyler is going to return from Romania around September of 2010. Makes sense because he was attending Arizona State University, so school's got to get going. And then that same year, Jeffrey Epstein begins giving money to Arizona State University, specifically for their Origins project. Okay. Yep. 4 months after that, Erica, and this is now into 2011, in May of 2011, Tyler Boyer is going to get unusually elected to the Board of Regents. And I say unusually because the governor, he kind of didn't go through the normal process, and the governor just decides Tyler Boyer's the guy. And then 4 months beyond that, Erica is going to enroll into ASU for her final year of college from 2011, 2012. And immediately 2 months after that, after the semester begins, she wins Miss Arizona USA, right, in November. And right after winning, we know she's going to establish this working partnership with the U.S. Marines Black Sea Rotational Force in Constanta, teaming up with them to run the Romanian Angels Project through her 501c3 Everyday Heroes. She's going to go out to Constanta. She's working with Colonel Otto Buscher, that same colonel who's going to be accused of trafficking and prostituting underage Romanians, apparently up and through Tel Aviv. And I do want to also say about that, in general, why did she partner with the U.S. Marines at all?
Yes.
That's not a requirement. Okay. I went to Romania twice. My best friend was Romanian and actually lived, her family, like she grew up here, but her family lived in Constanta. You can just go do charity. You don't have to team up with the U.S. Marines. This is a EU member state. Okay. Right. You don't need the protection of U.S. Marines to be in Romania and decide that you want to drop off some Christmas gifts. Really, you just need an address to do that. But for some reason, this particular charity felt that they needed to team up with the U.S. Marines. I just want to point, no one's really recognized that. You don't need to do that. I can go do charity anywhere in Europe right now. It doesn't demand a partnership with the U.S. Marines. It's very strange. Then we have in 2014, 2015, Erica begins tweeting that she's a casting director or casting recruiter in Los Angeles. The same time, she's kind of trying to break into the industry herself, which we've shown. And I also want to say that during this time that she's trying to get involved in reality TV, we find her floating around Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett is also running Mark Burnett Productions. He's running Trump's Apprentice show. A lot of synergy happening around this time. I do believe that Erica knew Donald Trump before she ever met Charlie Kirk. I think that's honestly evident. And so it really makes you wonder if this kind of brings in Colvette, because Kairos Company is working with Mark Burnett via Johnny Moore. It's very weird around this time frame. But it's this next this next little time frame that I want to get to you guys on. All right. So I'll tell you how I got this information. I had.
So when it comes to the military, I used to live in a military town on Fort Benning, Georgia, and I worked with the Department of Defense as a contractor. And I've had at least 100 stories with, well, I've heard over 100 stories with men and women in the military where one of the perks of going across seas and, is getting paid, of course. That's one of the perks. But another perk is, according to what I've learned from people in the military, is when they go to the military bases for some situations, because I don't want to just put something out there and put a black eye on the military, but they get access to women. There's somebody that is like, yo, y'all want some hoes? Let's go over here. Because when you're on a military base and when you're in a third world country and you haven't seen your lady, your wife, or whoever in a certain amount of months, you want some ass. And there's usually, according to what a bunch of people told me, there's a concierge person that facilitates sex for the guys that are touring out there, and they go out and do their thing. So yes, there's always some type of place where the guys can go and get their nut off, and possibly sometimes the places that they're getting access to have tadpoles there. So this is over 100 conversations that I've had with hundreds of military personnel, men and women, because the women would be like, oh yeah, I don't go, but I know exactly where they're about to go. They're going over there to go get their nut off. So what's up, Lisa? So it's a thing. I've heard this from men and women that have done multiple tours to Afghanistan, to all these different places, to Kyrgyzstan. I know people in the Air Force, I know people in the Army, and I know people in the Navy. And, I've heard Seoul, Korea, all these different places. I heard about the furniture that they will buy from Korea. If you know, Korea has the most beautiful furniture in the world. And I don't know why the furniture is so unique in Korea, but if you know. But yeah, furniture and women.
Received a tip a while ago saying, hey, their next model management in New York City, Faith Cates, who was the co-founder of it, had to step down because of her involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. She's like in his emails like 4,000 times. Even after he got arrested for pedophilia, she's like, I will never betray you. I will never, ever betray you. Like, I've got your back to the end. She was very close. I mean, look, she's inviting him here in this email to her son's.
You're so welcome, Stoney.
Bar mitzvah. And this person said, just so you know, Erica was involved with Next Model Management, right? So this is a tip. And this person did not work with Next Model Management. So I was like, okay, tip, we'll see where it leads, we're kind of investigating things. Then I kind of reach into some old contact cards. I'm going, that would be very curious, because Next Model Management apparently had tons of Eastern European girls all around the office. And like I said, you can look more into the Faith Cates thing, but it's not great. Right? It's not great. The relationship that Faith Cates had with Jeffrey Epstein, Eastern European models all around Next Model Management office. He was helping this model agency in particular. And so I decided to see if I could get some more people to verify that Erica was involved. What was she doing? Was she modeling? No. Well, I was able to confirm it's not just once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times with people with direct knowledge. This person said, just so you know, Erica was involved with Next Model Management. Next Model Management in New York City, Faith Cates, who was the co-founder of it, had to step down because of her involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. She's like in his emails like 4,000 times. I was able to confirm it, not
Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Let Go was the girl holding the baby Melania. No, it was just a girl holding a baby in the Epstein files. That's all it was. It wasn't Melania.
just once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times with people with direct knowledge that Erica Kirk was multiple times taking meetings at Next Model Management and dealing with the people like the suits that would surround Faith Cates, people like Jeffrey Epstein. Now, they did not say they saw her meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, but they said essentially Jeffrey Epstein was always there.
Let's see. Elizabeth said, after seeing the commercial about your car game, I feel like all of the generation Candace is calling out. Generation. Okay, I get what you're saying. Is calling out have been blanked into this lifestyle by their own parents. Yes. I am very adamant about making sure the parental side of all this is called out, because nobody really wants to talk about the parents of these people, the parents of these tadpoles. When you talk about R. Kelly, when you talk about EpiPen, there's a systematic way that these people get a hold of all these tadpoles. And even with the orphanages, that's the parent that gave up their child. They're terrible too. We all know the foster system is like a black hole. So if you give up your child, for adoption, that child is most likely doomed. Sasha Riley's dad, yes, is always the parent that puts these tadpoles in danger. So yeah, I'm very parent oriented. I have daughters. I'm crazy about my kids, So yes.
Because he was so close with Faith, Erica was not there because of a modeling contract. I decided to go out and ask Erica what she was doing there. It's because if people with intimate knowledge situation don't know what she was doing there, that's not great, right? Crickets. I feel like that would be a very easy email to answer. One question: what is the context of your relationship with Next Model Management? We've now confirmed that you were taking meetings here. What was the nature of those meetings?
All right, so let's see. Where's the other video? Speaking of parents,
but Erica Kirk began the Romanian Angels Project.
Speaking of parents,
in late 2012, early 2013 through to 2015. And obviously you have seen all the TikToks describing the scandal. And to explain that to you, just to kind of separate the myth from the facts of this, I'll tell you what the facts are. The facts are that Lori Francevy established the Everyday Heroes Foundation, which was supposed to help children in need. That was established in Arizona.
And that is Erica Kirk's parent. See, all of these people have their parents putting them into this stuff.
Erica's mother's name, Lori Francevy. What they decided to do, as charities do, is that they develop certain projects and certain missions, and what spun out from Lori's charity was the Romanian Angels Project. And they got this deal with...
Because you got to remember, Erica Kirk was only 17 when she was involved with this Romanian Angel stuff. So it's always the parent. Yes, it's the mom, it's the, but we can't just talk about the mom, because Sasha Riley's dad was flying Sasha Riley to these weird farms to get blanked. So that was the father, even though he was a adopted father. But yeah, it's always the damn parents.
The military, they worked with the military in Romania to help orphans. Okay. Now, it is a fact that they worked with, at that time, Colonel Otto Buscher. Colonel Otto Buscher was then accused of running a brothel with young children, taking them onto the military base for himself, his sexual.
All right, so she gets a little deep in that, and I don't want no problems out of YouTube because Candace don't care. Candace is just gonna say it. She gonna say all the words. Maybe she doesn't have problems out of YouTube like I do, so I don't want to just have Candace mess up my YouTube stream. So I want you all to watch this video I'm dropping in the chat. So I'm about to play a card game commercial. I'm going to get up out of here, but I need everybody to watch this video that I'm dropping in the chat. So hold on, give me a second. Why is this not working? Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm dropping a link in the chat, and this is yesterday's live stream, and a lot of you missed it. So I'm dropping yesterday's live stream in the chat because a lot of you missed it. I need y'all to go over there and watch it because it has a lot of different context about this whole situation from yesterday. So I played a lot more. I played a lot more videos in that live stream. So I need everybody, all 1,500 of you, to go watch that link that is in the chat right now. Go watch that. Go watch that right now. All right. So I'm going to play some card game videos and give y'all some time to click the link. Actually, let me just pin that link at the top. Okay. So I pinned the link at the top. Y'all see the pinned link? Go watch that. So get out of here. Go watch that video. Get out of here. Go watch that video. Get out of here. Go watch that video now. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it. Get out of here. Go watch that video. The link is pinned in the chat.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other. These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband. If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
And also buy my card game, of course. So I'm dropping a link in the chat. Watch the link that I just dropped in the chat. Watch the link that I just...
If you had one wish involving us, what would it be? If you had one wish involving us, what would it be?
That we got along better.
Okay.
The day that you told me, like, I was so happy for you, my mindset toward you completely changed. I think after you had her, you realized, like, how hard it is to be a mom. And, like, when you look back at things that maybe, like, made you mad at me, you realize, like, okay, well, that is hard.
Just bought this mother-daughter card game because I came to the realization that my issues with my mom are not resolved, so I decided to do something about it. Just played this card game with my mom and we both literally broke down crying. Here's the card game right here. Buy it. Every woman needs this. You won't regret it.
All right. Make sure to buy my card game. Also, click the link in the chat. It'll take you to yesterday's live stream. Go over there. Go watch it now. We still got 1,300 people watching. Why are y'all still over here? Click the link in the chat. Click the link in the chat. Go to the chat if you're not watching in the chat and click the link. Go click the link. Go click the freaking link. I get my Megyn Kelly, Carson Owens are fleeting this disaster presidency. Yes. I'm about to play the like button song also. I haven't played that in a minute. Where is it? Here it is right here. Click the link, y'all.
Everybody hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comment. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. Wet. Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat.
Evil scumbag. Here's the fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. As we all know, Candace Owens is spinning a lot of suggestion. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt.
Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? If you got something to say, tell it to her face. If you got something to say, tell it to her face. All of this is fake and gay, and you know it. I got all the evidence. I'm about to show it. You projecting all your guilt out on us and Candace. We just trying to solve the case. I don't understand it. Things not turning out how you planned it. We can see it in your eyes and your body language. I see all the threats that you keep sending me, but underneath the jail is where you finna be. Your band of crooked pastors in the pulpit. Every time you speak, all I hear is bullshit. Tell the truth about Charlie Kirk instead of telling me to stop. All I wanna know is which guy took the shot. I need an answer to a question only you would know. Was Charlie Kirk's life a reenactment of the Truman Show? Truman Show. 100,000 of us on your head tie. Please stop trying to feed us all this fed slide. Your grieving widow book tour, we ain't listening to it. And free Tyler Robinson, cause you know he didn't do it. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace.
She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think happened? But Erica said stop, and then I was frozen for 4 hours and 30 minutes, just like.
Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? If you got something to say, tell it to her face. If you got something to say, tell it to her face. All this is fake and gay, and you know it. I got all the evidence, I'm about to show it. You projecting all your guilt out on us and Candace. We just trying to solve the case, I don't understand it. Are things not turning out how you planned it? We can see it in your eyes and your body language. I see all the threats that you keep sending me, but underneath the jail is where you finna be. Your band of crooked pastors in the pulpit. Every time you speak, all I hear is bullshit. Tell the truth about Charlie Kirk instead of telling me to stop. All I wanna know is which guy took the shot. I need an answer to a question only you would know. Was Charlie Kirk's life a reenactment of the Truman Show? 100,000 of us on your head top. Please stop trying to feed us all this fed slop. Your grieving widow book tour, we ain't listening to it. And free Tyler Robinson, cause you know he didn't do it. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What?
It feels a little fake and gay. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake and gay, and there will be no fakeness and no gayness. It was like one big character assassination, and it wasn't to me.
Everybody, make sure to click the link that I just dropped in the chat. Is another video that we did yesterday. Make sure to click the link in the chat. Click the link in the chat. Click the link in the chat. Is the video that I did yesterday. A lot of you guys did not see it. Go watch that link Go watch that video from yesterday. Oh, y'all like my songs? I be forgetting I have them. I've been playing them for so long. So I'll talk to y'all later. Make sure to click the link that is in the chat, y'all. Y'all are not clicking the link. It's still 1,200 people in here watching. Go click the link that is in the chat right now and go. It's a video. I'm not even trying to sell y'all nothing. Go watch the video. All right. Talk to y'all later.